Today, on Running to Him,
God controls our circumstances. And this is a devotion for 1-5. Today we will read Acts chapters 11 and 12 and concentrate on chapter 12, verses 6 through 9. Acts 12, 6 through 9 says, On the very night when Herod was about to bring him forward, Peter was sleeping between two soldiers, bound with chains. And the guards in front of him were watching over the prison. And behold, an angel of the Lord suddenly appeared in the light shine in the cell. He struck Peter's side and woke him up, saying, Get up quickly. And his chains fell off his hands. The angel said to him, Gird yourself and put on your sandals. And he did so. He said to him, Wrap your cloak around you and follow me. And he went out and continued to follow. And he did not know what was being done by the angel was real, but thought he was seeing a vision. Well, these two chapters of Acts focus on Peter. After this point, Acts will focus mainly on Paul and the ministry to the Gentiles. But these two chapters are important because the revelation which he gave to the early church through Peter. Acts chapter 10 focuses on Peter's going to Cornelius' house and speaking with him about Christ. This action was initially seen as unfavorable to the Jews in Jerusalem. The Jews didn't trust the Gentiles as they were conquerors and pagans. At that time, the Jews believed that God would only work with them and that salvation could only come if one converted to Judaism. Cornelius' story changed that thought forever. In the call-out verses, Peter is being held in jail awaiting execution. James' death through Herod's order pleased the Jews, so Peter was arrested and was going to be killed as well. Now, this was not religious persecution in the traditional sense. His death would have been political with a religious component. Herod's popularity would increase with the Jewish leaders and therefore possibly quell some of the more rebellious factions of the Jews. The religious component fell into the Jews' leaders' laps, and Herod didn't care about that. Peter's miraculous release shows that God's power and the power of prayer. Now let's start with prayer. We're told the disciples were at John Mark's house praying for Peter's release. There was virtually no hope for a successful outcome, as Peter's death would provide more political capital than his remaining alive. Jurisprudence in those days was based on the whim of those in charge. The disciples' prayer was all that they had to help Peter, so they prayed for his release. Peter was also resigned to his fate. There was nothing he could do to prevent it. We're told that Peter was sleeping so soundly that the angel struck Peter on the side after passing through the sets of guards. Peter finally realized that it wasn't a vision he was experiencing, but reality. Arriving at John Mark's house, the slave girl needed several tries to convince those inside that Peter was outside. So how can these two chapters help us in our daily walk? First, we should be ready for God to work in our lives. He may call us to perform significant work or take out the trash. We should be ready for either. Second, while God sometimes allows bad things to happen to his disciples, we, as a community, need to be in constant prayer for one another. God will answer those prayers.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.